And now, by Arthur's infinite grace, we interrupt the grand hour for a special demo recording of Rothe on Darnielle, where we explore the opus of one particular band in no particular order. That particular band is and always will be the Mountain Goats, cult indie folk rock group composed of John Darnielle and all those with whom he happens to surround himself. We'll be working our way from song to song via the most long-winded segues this side of the Macon County line, because with the Mountain Goats, whether it's the music, the listener, or the man himself, someone is going to be telling a story about something. And if it's a story, then where to start? We could start where John started, in which case I might play, dance music, tableau of his early childhood home in California. We could start where the Mountain Goats started. Might play Alpha Incipien's first track off Zopalode Machine, the earliest commercially available album. We could start with The Idea of Starting, in which case I might play San Bernardino, a song about birth. But this show isn't about any of those things. It super is, but also not really. And it can't be. Because like any other interpretive work, this is about the author. Which in this case is me, because I have a mic. If you want to be the author, you can call in, but you don't have a mic. So, I figured there was no better way to begin this inherently narcissistic exercise than by going through a few of the songs that mark important moments in the formation of my relationship with this music. We're going to begin where many do, with the 2005 album The Sunset Tree, one of the band's breakouts. It was actually the third of a free album contract with 4AD, and Darnielle was preparing for it to be his last. He was leaving it all out on the field with this one. That heart has got to be what makes it such a popular on-ramp for new listeners. The Sunset Tree is a musical memoir. Darnielle tells of his early life under an abusive stepfather, the beginnings of a downward spiral that would follow. For as long as I've been listening to and thinking about this album, it wasn't until writing for this show that I forced myself to break the mystique of this particular song. It was the first I ever heard back in 2013. I wanted it to remain beautiful nonsense, something separate from the rest of the body of work, the fascinating but not necessarily transcendent, readily dissected words telling a story set to music. But one of the truths about art that we're all told, but took me an unreasonably long amount of time to believe, is that it is both possible and pleasurable to switch back and forth between those two modes. Says Darnielle about this song: "We are fairly well damaged by the legacy of our romantic poets, that we think of love as this thing that is accompanied by strings and is a force for good, and that if something bad comes from it, then that's not love. And the therapeutic tradition that I come from, I used to work in therapy, also says that it's not love if it feels bad. And I don't know so much about that. I don't know that the Greeks weren't right. I think they were, that love can eat a path through everything, that it will destroy a lot of things on the way to its own objective, which is just its expression of itself. My stepfather loved his family, right? He mistreated us terribly quite often, but he loved us. And that is, to me, something worth commenting on in the hopes of undoing a lot of what I perceive as terrible damage in the way people talk about this. Love as this benign, comfortable force. It's not that. It's wild. This is Love, Love, Love by the Mountain Goats.
Saul fell on his sword when it all went wrong, and Joseph's brothers sold him down the river for a song, and Sonny Liston rubbed some tiger balm into his glove. Some things you do for money, and some you do for love, love, love. Raskolnikov felt sick, but he couldn't say why. When he saw his face reflected in his victim's twinkling eye. Some things you'll do for money, and some you'll do for fun, but the things you do for love are gonna come back to you one by one. Love, love is gonna lead you by the hand into a white and soundless place. Now we see things as in a mirror dimly. Then we shall see each other face to face. And way out in Seattle, young Kurt Cobain snuck out to the greenhouse, put a bullet in his brain. Snakes in the grass beneath our feet, rain in the clouds above. Some moments last forever, but some flare out with love, love, love.
It only takes a minute to find out if you may have prediabetes, and you can do it at doihaveprediabetes.org. But you're probably not going to. Nope. I'm sure you've got a perfectly good excuse. Kids, work. I get it. You're busy. So what better time than now? Let's begin. Raise one finger if you're a man. Ladies, none yet. Oh, count in your head if you're driving. Now, 3 more fingers for everyone over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. 1 more if you're not physically active. Another finger if anyone in your family has type 2 diabetes. Another if you've got high blood pressure. If you're overweight, raise another finger. 2 if you're very overweight. And 3 if you're really overweight. You've just taken the world's first audio prediabetes test. And if you're holding up 5 or more fingers, visit doihaveprediabetes.org or talk to your doctor. There's no excuse because prediabetes can be reversed.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Boy, do I wish I'd chosen a more relevant PSA. Because the next couple of songs I got are about high school. It's weird. I'm a freshman. It's college, it's October, barely been a month. End up reflecting a lot on high school. A lot of how I understand the world right now, how I think about the art I'm presented with ties back to high school. Ties into change, liminality, mostly for lack of any other prior experiences. And talking about that stuff on a college campus, people only a couple years older than you who are nominally adults, and probably don't feel, but look ready to enter broader society. It inspires some hesitation, but also, hey, who's listening? I heard this next song immediately after Love, 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 and for about 3 years it was really the only Mountain Goat song I kept in rotation. It's where a lot of people's knowledge of the band begins and ends. Can't blame them, it's a bop. Gained some new personal significance when I very deliberately used it to bookend my senior year of high school, set out to play it on the first and last day of a period in my life about which I remained very undecided. It's about hard times. It's about the acts of self-destruction they inspire. It's about this really pernicious thing where sometimes in your head something convinces you that it's that self-destructive behavior that's making you feel better instead of a company that misery loves. That company is actually what's going to save you. This is This Year by the Mountain Goats. Alright, we're gonna finish up this hour with a song that was written about someone who's fine now. Probably never needed anyone else to hope that they'd be fine, but the song got written, the song got listened to, hopefully it got appreciated. It was never officially released. This is a recording from a live performance. This is Thought You Were Cool by the Mountain Goats.
The same four chords I use most of the time when I've got something on my mind and I don't want to squander the moment trying to come up with a better way to say what I want to say. People were mean to you, but I always thought you were cool. Clicking down the concrete hallways in your spiked heels back in high school. But let's not kid ourselves, it's better to pass on through those years and come out the other side with our hearts still beating, having stared down demons, come back breathing. People were mean to you, but I always thought you were cool. Clicking down the concrete hallways in your spiked heels back in high school. You deserved better than you got. Someone's gotta say it sometime, cause it's true. People should have told you you were awesome instead of taking advantage of you. I hope you love your life now like I love mine. I hope the painful memories only flex their power over you a little of the time. We held on to hope of better days coming, and when we did, we were right. I hope the people who did you harm have trouble sleeping at night. People were mean to you, but I always thought you were cool. Clicking down the concrete hallways in your spiked heels back in high school. Thank you very much.
All right, that's all we've got time for today. Wake Up Sleepyhead is next with Marco here on WMFO Medford. The things that you've got coming will do things that you're afraid to. Enjoy the rest of your day.